Right, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone, and honors to you brothers out there in highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And I just want to bring this scripture, Revelations 12:12, to life, because the day is fast approaching. All right, the so-called white men are beginning with their elites through their major asset, which is the governments, is preparing the day, man, when they're gonna come upon the people in wrath. All right, and wrath, in case you didn't know, wrath ain't talking about kisses and cuddles, man. Wrath is talking about a sore destruction, man, ill intent, murder, death. All right, and that's what these different governments are gonna come down with on the people, mainly you Israelites. But even Edomites are going to face the wrath of the state. All right, because they're going to be out for anyone and anything which they deem to be undesirable, all right, and rebellious to their New World Order agendas, man, to the state agenda. And it's that simple. So you could be one of them guys who, you're against a particular legislation or whatever the case may be in that day, man. They're going to flip on you. All right, they're looking for complete obedience, man. And they're only looking for a small population anyway. So that means they've already slated the majority of you people to be put to death, man. And they're gonna do it. They're gonna come with wrath because they know they have a short time. They're gonna come with their end game to try and establish this new world order. Now, we've been telling you for years that these terrorist legislations weren't set up for what you, in your small mind, deem to be a terrorist. All right, the term terrorist is nothing more than the modern day term savage, and it was a term that Esau, the so-called white man, used to justify killing undesirables for whatever reason. Or you're a group of people, you're living on a piece of land that Esau wanted, you're a savage. So now he's justified to kill you and do whatever he feels like, and everyone will go along with it. The term terrorist is just the modern day term for savage or barbarian. The Romans did the same thing. Oh, these people are barbarians. We could do what we want with them. You understand what I'm saying? Barbarian, savage, terrorist. Terrorist is just a new modern day term, and they make it seem like at first it would only apply to some guy in a turban that wakes up in the morning going, "Ay, tabai," and all this stuff. When ultimately, the term terrorist was designed to be used against anyone who disagrees or disagrees with the state or is deemed by the state to be undesirable. All right, now they've been using the terrorists. They bring in all these terrorist acts. The EU, they got their little terrorist acts with their stupid definitions. America has the same thing. They got the Patriot Act. They got the NDAA, which the NDAA allows these people to kill you. It allows them to basically take you off the streets and disappear you and have to provide no evidence. So basically, you're being treated as if you're not even a citizen of America. You're just a savage. You're just out there. You're like an animal they caught in the wild. That's basically what the NDAA allows them to do to anyone for any reason without proof. And the same laws pretty much exist over here in Europe and around the world. These states, through the fear of terrorism, have given themselves legislative powers to basically strip away a person's human rights, man. Strip away their so-called citizenship and come upon them with wrath. Right, and they've been using terrorist laws and abusing them for years over here in the UK. Stop searching people on the Terrorism Act like just normal people on the streets, and people were complaining. But at the end of the day, we told you, the Hebrew Israelites, the prophets told you that these terrorist laws at the end of the day were designed for you. All right, it weren't for no dude in a turban. Now it says police to treat gangs like terror suspects with tough new laws. So these gangs, which you see who they really pushing it to target mainly, these so-called Negroes, but they're gonna use it on everyone. They're gonna use it on everyone they feel like, but they gonna really target you so-called Negroes, because out of everyone in society, you're the most undesirable. You're the number one target for the New World Order. You Israelites. So it's going to come down on you the hardest. That's why Jeremiah the 30:7 says it is also the time of Jacob's trouble, man. And guess what? Because the 2/3 of you Israelites are wicked, the Lord is going to give you over to that sword. Ezekiel 21:9, that sword which is being sharpened, man. Because you're wicked anyway. So the Lord's going to give you over into the designs of the so-called white man, that wrath, the devil. Now it says police will treat gang members like terrorism suspects. Well, hold on. I thought terrorism was a whole different thing. No, it's not. The definition of terrorism is very vague, and it can apply to any and anything they want it to apply to. Police will treat gang members like terrorism suspects if they use YouTube music videos to incite. See, they act like they're going to show some restraint. No, eventually they're going to go the full Monty, man. All right, music videos to incite violence on the streets under a new proposal to tackle the soaring murder rates. Problem, reaction, solution. The measures, if taken forward in consultation with the Crown Prosecution Service, will mean officers won't have to prove that specific videos or social media posts were linked to an act of violence. So they ain't even got to prove nothing, man. They just swoop you dudes, man. And a lot of you are going to start getting swooped off the street and getting locked away. All right, and that's that, which I don't feel sorry for you anyway. But the point of the matter is, it's not going to stop there. You see a lot of people, yeah, but it's not, this isn't for gangs. It's not going to stop here. The scripture tells you what, Revelation 12:12, man. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, not the gangs. It's not going to stop there. They're going to apply this terrorist legislations to everyone and anyone they deem to be undesirable or rebellious. And that means you. If you got a problem, if you're going to have a problem with something that the government do or any legislation, or maybe they just see that you ain't worth nothing to the New World Order, you're just going to be labeled as a terrorist. All right? Now, let's get this vagueness of definition. We're going to read through this, man, because it's all set up. All right? We're not ignorant to the devices of the devil. And the word devices means plans. All right, they set this stuff up on purpose. Vagueness of definition. There are several problems with the definition of terrorism. No university accepted definition. There is no university accepted definition of terrorism. In his paper defining terrorism is one man's terrorist, another man's freedom fighter. Boaz Gano points out the urgency of an internationally accepted definition of terrorism due to the ambiguousness of the term. And it's designed to be ambiguous, just like the word savage, just like the word barbarian. What does it, in the end, barbarian meant anyone that wasn't Roman. In the end, savage just meant anyone that wasn't so-called white man. It's just an ambiguous term that you can put on people and say, yeah, there's people that's savages. They're savages. And boom, you can shoot them in the head, shoot their children in the head. The children are savages anyway. Yeah, and that's why, hey, we told you they've been preparing this. You had this monkey, Stormzy, this big black monkey made this album cover, and they had this shit up all over London, right, called Gang Signs and Prayer. Now, if you actually look at the image that he had on his album cover, first of all, it's Gang Signs and Prayer. So he's basically that black culture, black Christianity is being invoked. Why ain't he showing the damn picture? Now they had this image up all over London. Now what does this image show you of the so-called black man? First of all, they're all wearing balaclavas. Yeah? Alright? So they look like a bunch of ISIS terrorists. They look like Jihadi John, first of all. Yeah? And this is meant to be like an image of the Last Supper. All right. So you already see how they're making it religious. They're making it gang related. They're making it look terroristic. But look what you have right here in the image. You got a child. So now you're not just looking at grown so-called black men as being terroristic. Now it's the child. So you could be justified to kill that child because that child's a terrorist, is a savage, he's a barbarian anyway. And this is the lessons of history. That's why they're gonna come down on your children, man. You see, you people don't know this devil, man. This devil, everything. This album cover was all over the streets of London, all over the streets of London, right? Esau ain't gonna show no mercy, man. The scripture says he gonna come down with great wrath. That wrath is gonna come on man, woman, and child. All right, you wait and you see. You so-called Negroes, man, you help to make yourself look like undesirables. Undesirable people that the government needs to eradicate. Look at that. A child. All right? So, thanks for that, Stormzy. You muppet. Anyway, let's jump back into this. Even within the country, the United States, the U.S. Department of the State and the FBI have different definitions of terrorism, which can lead one institute to classify an event as terrorist while another does not. Vague wording. It says another issue with the definition of terrorism is this vague wording. Like I said, it's designed that way. Navin Bapat, a professor of political science at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, an expert on terrorist campaigns, points out the subjective nature of words used in definitions of terrorism, such as non-combatant and political purposes. The subjectivity of such words allows for dispute over whether a group is or is not terrorist, as questions such as the degree to which the attack was premeditated and the degree to which a subnational group was involved with the premeditation of the attack, or the definition of a non-combatant and what ideologies are considered political may arise. So you got guys like you in this black power groups and all this stuff and Wakanda and all, man. You gonna find out, man. Esau don't give a damn, and ultimately what's gonna happen is all of you who are deemed undesirable, all of you who are deemed rebellious, you're gonna be you're gonna get put in concentration camps, just like terrorists get put in today, Guantanamo Bays. Yeah, you're gonna get tortured, all right, and you're gonna be destroyed. You're gonna be cleansed. You're gonna be sanitized. All right. Now, the ones of you who receive that chip, you're gonna become a citizen. There's only gonna be two. You're gonna have two statuses. It's either you're gonna be a citizen, which means you're gonna be chipped and in complete obedience to the state, or you ain't gonna be chipped and you're gonna be deemed a terrorist and you're gonna be under the power of the sword. Revelations 13 and 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that's what these different governments are going to do. They're going to have to sift out who they want to be a citizen and who they don't. And the ones who they want to allow to be citizens, you're going to have to take that chip. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the number, or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So the chip is going to come into play. You see, if you're a terrorist, man, all right, if you wanna prove you're a citizen, you're gonna have to take that chip so that they can have control over you, man. All right. Oh, you're a terrorist suspect. Well, you can prove you're not a terrorist by taking this chip. Then they can track you. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're gonna do this thing, man. Look, MS-13 terrorist group. This ain't nothing new, man. They're doing the same thing in America. All the gangs now are becoming terrorist organizations. All right? And it's not going to stop there. All right? They got the NDAA. Go look it up. National Defense Authorization Act. That's in America. These things are already in place, and they're going to be used against average, everyday people, man. Oh, you're upset that your bank account's been emptied, and you want to go down to the bank after it's been nationalized to argue about it? Terrorists. Shoot on sight. You going to find out, man. That's what I'm saying. Look. Hey. Revelations 12 and 12, man. It's coming. The time of Jacob's trouble. Revelations 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Again, we could go to Jeremiah the 30th chapter. It's the time of Jacob's trouble, man. And like I said, 2/3 of you Israelites, man, you gon' see, I already know I'm going to be deemed a terrorist. You know how I know that? Because I'm never going to be with the state, Lord will. I'm never going to be in agreement with this devil and his new world order. So I already know what position, what label they're going to give me. They ain't going to label me a citizen. They're going to label me a terrorist. But that's okay. They can label me whatever they want to label me. I have a king, Yahweh Shai. So they can label me a clown. They can label me whatever they want to say. Just know that when your time of authority is over, my time of authority will begin. And I'm going to label you. Okay, and we're going to see what's up then. All right, Jeremiah 30 and 7, it says, Alas. Oh, let's start from verse 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right, but the ones that are going to be saved out of it is the elect, the ones that believe in Yahweh Shai. The rest of you, some of you are going to beg and take the chip, and some of you are just going to get put to death by the martial law troops on the spot. Some of you are going to want to take the chip. You're still going to get put to death. It's simple. All right, some of you, Esau ain't got time with you. Esau gonna blow your head off as soon as he sees you, man. All right, as soon as he sees you on them streets, Esau ain't gonna waste time trying to chip you. Esau gonna blow your head off, man. Clean off. That's the times that we're going into, man. That sword, man. All right, it's gonna get real out here. This devil gonna show his horns, and he gonna come down with great wrath, and that ain't no hugs and kisses, like I said. All right. I'll bring out something else I wanted to bring out. You could go search abuse of terrorist legislations, man, and you're going to see the governments from all over the world have been doing it over the years, man. Look at that. Inside Emmanuel Macron's draconian anti-terrorism laws. They're all up to the same game. Yeah, and it's going to come to a head. All right. Was there any other scriptures that I wanted to pull? I think that's pretty much the point on that, man. The time is the gang matrix. That's what I wanted to mention. Over here in the UK, they got something called the gang matrix. So they pretty much arrest these youths now, and if they suppose that they're in a gang, whether they're in a gang or not, they put them on this thing called the gang matrix. So you got a lot of youths now. Basically, is they can't get jobs and that because they're on this gang matrix, whether they're in a gang or not. And it's mostly so-called Negroes, man. All right, 78% of the people on the gang matrix are black. But you see, you Jake, you love gang culture. You love, even if you're not in a gang, you love the idea of it. Jake loves that. That's been ingrained into Jake now. This gang violence, black culture, drill music type garbage. You make it easy for Esau because you don't abhor that culture. You love that culture. If you're not in a gang, you want to be in a gang, or you fantasize about being in a gang. You know what I'm saying? But they already got a lot of you Drakes in London, man, on this gang matrix, man. Terrorist matrix, man. So Esau, man, Esau's doing this thing, and it's only gonna get worse, man. You think this man is reasonable? You're gonna find out how unreasonable this man is gonna be in that day, when he summary executions your whole family, man. You know, I'm not a terrorist. I'm not. Esau ain't going to hear none of that. You fit the description. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.